Hi, this is Christian, and welcome to NFL Updates Express, your weekly dose of NFL news. Coming your way, Week 5 predictions. In the first spotlight game of the week, it's the New York Giants as they take on the Green Bay Packers in primetime. Now the Giants, well, technically they're in the last place, but they're only out of first place by a game as the NFC East has been surprisingly competitive this year. The Giants will need to rely on their rushing attack, and that seems a surprise as they don't really have a clear-cut number one guy. I mean, they have Orleans Darkwa, who has had a couple of goal line carries and taken some duties over from Rashad Jennings, who's been dealing with some injuries, and also the rookie Paul Perkins, and he had a big-time run against the Minnesota Vikings, even in a loss. But the Giants, I think they'll be okay as long as Odell Beckham can keep a cool head and stay on the field. For the Packers, well, Jordy Nelson has been back and he's been sharp throughout this season, and Aaron Rodgers has looked like a better quarterback than he did last season, and they're going to need some more production out of guys like Randall Cobb and their tight ends, but if they can do that, then they should be able to beat the Giants in primetime. And the next spotlight game of the week, it's a Monday Night Football matchup when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers travel to Bank of America Stadium to take on the Carolina Panthers. Now the Panthers, well, many people thought they'd be a Super Bowl contender, but so far they haven't looked like it. With their 1-3 start to the season, Cam Newton has struggled. Carolina's defense has been putrid at times, including last week when they gave up 300 yards to Julio Jones, and the Panthers decided to release their starting cornerback, Bené Benwikere, after giving up over 200 yards to him alone. And so now the Panthers will be looking to start Robert McClain, an unproven veteran, and also Daryl Worley, a draft pick from West Virginia. For the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they'll be without their top two running backs in Charles Sims and Doug Martin, and so they'll be looking to get Jaquiz Rodgers involved in this offense against the Panthers' run defense, which has been pretty solid, but their pass defense is really where they'll need to exploit that. Mike Evans, I'm sure, will have a field day against the Panthers' defense. For the Panthers, they'll need Derek Anderson after Cam Newton had a concussion, and he won't be playing in this game, so they'll need Derek Anderson to make some great passes to Greg Olsen and Kelvin Benjamin if they want to win this game. Overall, it should be a pretty entertaining game, but I think the Panthers get back on track with a W. Dylan's prediction is the Carolina Panthers. In the next matchup, it's an interstate rivalry when the Washington Redskins take on the Baltimore Ravens at M&T Bank Stadium. Now the Redskins, they've been on and off this season. They've had some games where they look pretty solid, like against the Cleveland Browns and the New York Giants, but in their losses, they've just looked really bad. So we'll see probably a mix against the Baltimore Ravens, which have shown signs of life and then signs of, oh, I don't know what you're doing. Jacksonville was a great example in which they got the win, but they did not look good at all. The Ravens, though, they are 3-1, and they're in a position for a playoff spot, even though it is early in the season, but if they keep up what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball, which has really improved for them, then I think the Ravens will be in good shape. Overall, it should be a very entertaining game, and I'm interested to see how the quarterbacks play in this one, but overall, I think I'm going to take the Washington Redskins to get the job done on the road. Dylan's prediction is the Baltimore Ravens. In the last spotlight game of the week, it's the New England Patriots as they take on the Cleveland Browns. Now, the New England Patriots, we already know Deflategate is finally over, thank goodness. But you know who's returning? Yes, Tom Brady, one of the best quarterbacks to ever play. And the Patriots, well, they didn't really need Tom Brady, at least until Game 4 against the Bills, where they got walloped 16-0. But the first 3 weeks, Jimmy Garoppolo went 2-0 as a starter, and then after he messed up his shoulder, Jacoby Brissett dominated the Houston Texans 27-0, and the Patriots 3-1 are set up to control the AFC through 4 weeks and a quarter of the NFL season so far. For the Browns, well, they haven't been good, and they haven't won a game yet. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel for the Browns as they have Terrell Pryor, who's becoming one of the most dynamic receivers in the NFL, and the Browns, well, even though it seems like they're mismatched on paper, they've had some pretty competitive games against the Patriots in the past, so there is that to look up to. Overall, I just don't think the Browns have enough in the tank, though, to win this game, even though I think they'll keep it close until halftime, but after that, I see the Patriots getting the job done. Dylan's prediction is the New England Patriots. player of the week is Dallas Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott. Now, I'll admit at first I wasn't a believer in him, but he's really proven me wrong so far, as behind the Dallas Cowboys offensive line, he has run rampant against all opponents. If he can keep it up, along with his rookie quarterback counterpart Dak Prescott, then the Cowboys may find themselves back in the postseason. Quarter of the NFL season is already over, and here's how the scores went for Week 4. It was the Bengals over the Dolphins on Thursday Night Football, 22-7. The Jags over the Colts in London, 30-27. The Texans over the Titans, 27-20. The Redskins over the Browns, 31-20. The Seahawks over the Jets, 27-17. The Bills over the Patriots, 16-0. The Falcons over the Panthers, 48-33. The Raiders over the Ravens, 28-27. The Bears over the Lions, 17-14. The Broncos over the Buccaneers, 27-7. The LA Rams over the Cardinals, 17-13. The Saints over the Chargers, 35-34. The Cowboys over the 49ers, 24-17. The Steelers over the Chiefs, 43-14. And the Vikings over the Giants, 24-10. The most entertaining game was Jaguars versus Colts, and the upset of the week was the Rams over the Cardinals. My prediction record for this week was 8-8. Dylan's was 9-7. My prediction record for the entire year is 29-35. Dylan's is 35-29.